So now we are going to look at our supporting quotes for our thesis statement that we already developed. You are going to need 3 quotes that support your thesis statement. If you can't find 3 quotes that support it, then it's probably not a good thesis. Okay, so remember that my thesis statement was Viola's cross-dressing disguises her true nature by instigating gender confusion and is the driving force behind her motivations. So the first thing you need to do is look for quotes. So I took out my script and I started just marking a couple of different instances that I saw that she was disguised, people were confused or she was confused, and it motivated her to the next level or it showed what she was motivated about. Okay, so let me give you a quick example. So in Act 1, Scene 4, page 28, down here at the bottom, Viola says, I'll do my best to woo your lady, aside, which means talking to herself, yet a barful strife, whoever I woo myself would be his wife. This is where she realizes, like, oh crap, I'm disguised as a guy, and I have to help the Duke, but I'm madly in love with him. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you do citing. Remember, we've done notes in your notebooks about this. There are also some notes online that I'll show you here soon that tell you what you need to do. But when we look at this, we have a capitalized letter at the start of each line, even though they are not the beginnings of sentences. And so that would make this verse, which means we have to use the slashes. So what I'm going to do is you need to have citing, embedding, and your quote. Okay, so you need all those things to get your full credit, and we've gone over that stuff as well. So we're going to start here with my embedding. So the embedding, those are my words. So I might say something as simple as Viola exclaims to herself. That's embedding. Yay. Okay, now I need my quote. So I have to use quotation marks because it does not belong to me. So I'll do my best. That's the first line. Now, because I'm using the multiple lines here, I need to use that slash. To woo your lady. And then I'm including the stage directions because in this case it's extremely important. It shows that she's talking to herself here. And it shows that like this is kind of internal dialogue. Get a barful strife. Once again, we need a slash. That weird word that is actually the word whoever. And that's the end of my quote, so I put quotation marks, no ending punctuation mark here. Parentheses, I put the author's last name. And remember that you cite plays differently, specifically Shakespeare plays differently. So we start with the act, period, the scene, period, and then the page, parentheses, period. Now, for some of you, that might be all you need to do. If you think that your quote needs a little bit of explanation, if you think that I'm not going to see the connection, if you're worried I'm not going to see the connection, you can write an additional sentence just for clarification. So you don't need to do a lot of writing here. So I might just say, this is when she realizes her disguise prevents her from obtaining the love of Duke Orsino. So one sentence explanation is all I really need there. So this has to relate back to what I'm saying up here. Is it showing that she's disguising her true nature, her true self? Is it showing gender confusion? Is it showing what she's motivated about? Yes, it is clear. She's disguised as a man Can't do anything about her love for the Duke. So then my second one might be when speaking to Lady Olivia, Viola admits that she is, now I'm not going to use the full quote here, so I'm going to use ... because I removed the first half of the sentence. So she admits that she is not that I play. Shakespeare 1.5.46, so that's Act 1, Scene 5, page 46. And I can leave it just like that. If I feel like, yeah, I've covered this, it's clear how this connects to that, that's all you need to do. But again, if you have any doubt that I am not going to catch that connection, do a one-sentence explanation. And then for my last one down here, I might want something a little bit more complicated. So Duke Orsino is madly in love, but Viola proposes. I'm going to use part of a quote again. So ... because I took out the first half. That some lady as perhaps there is. And then I need the slash because it's new line. Hath for your love a great pang of heart. Slash because it's a new line. As you have for Olivia. Act 2, Scene 4, page 94. Period. Now, I don't think there's enough explanation with this quote, because in particular, this is where Viola is saying, like, hey, you know, what would you do if there was some woman out there who loved you as much as you loved Olivia? You know, what would you think about that? Okay, so I might just do a little bit of an explanation here. Since she's disguised as a man, Orsino can't see that she's talking about her love for him. So once again, one sentence. That's it. I have 3 supporting quotes that all tie back to my thesis statement. They are all embedded. They are all properly cited. I would turn this in, and then you're done. That's all you have to do for this assignment. Now, once again, if you go to the classroom website, okay, so when you pull the classroom website up, this is what you'll get. Hover over ELA 1 and click on 12th night. You can also, if you click on ELA 1, click on 12th night from here, and it will pull this up. So audio, full text, some extra stuff here. And if you scroll down here to the blue boxes, you'll see quoting and citing Shakespeare. So it goes over verse, which is where every line starts with a capital letter, regardless of it being the start of a sentence. And that's where you use the slashes to divide lines. And then you have quoting prose, that's just normal text. Every sentence begins with a letter, a capital letter. You have quoting more than 3 lines. So if you use a huge chunk of text, and then quoting multiple characters, and it tells you how to go about doing that as well. Okay, you will notice there is a slight difference for quoting more than 3 lines and quoting multiple characters for your citation. So please make sure that you review this because if you do not do this correctly on your handout, you will lose points. Okay, you also have notes in your notebook about this topic. And that's how you complete supporting quotes for your thesis statement.